Yikes! The Duke of Sussex demonstrates wild, eye-watering hypocrisy at a well-paid corporate event in Canada. This guy will say anything for a few $1 million because he is flat broke. I've got the inside story. But first, setting aside the disastrous state of his bank account, Prince Harry's total humiliation is now complete. Once the most popular member of the royal family, ahead of Queen Elizabeth herself, a globally recognised, much-loved figure with the world at his feet, a new low for the Duke as he's granted a pathetic, cringe-worthy, crushingly embarrassing cameo appearance in Meghan Markle's truly execrable, egregious, and other words that are long that we don't know the meaning of that begin with E, TV Christmas special on Netflix. So, Harry wheeled out from his underground dungeon at the Montecito mansion, where I've got no doubt food is lowered down to him in a bucket, his favourite meal, the Baconator from Wendy's. Harry was allowed to see broad daylight and shoved on camera to pay homage to his amazing wife. Oh, my love, you're so amazing. My wonderful, amazing life. Everyone on that show has got to pay homage to the great Meghan Markle. They must kiss the ring. Mwah. So he shoved on camera. Well done, my love. You're amazing. And ultimately, why is he there? He is there to prop up her ratings, which since the second season of With Love Meghan have been in freefall. No one's watching. And if you do watch it, it'll ruin your Christmas. Forget about Scrooge. You've got Meghan Markle. My husband, Christmas sprinkles. So this did not look like a TV show, folks. This was a hostage video with a look in Harry's eyes that screamed, "Get me out!" The other reason that Harry appeared is that Meghan could not find a single recognisable household name, any celebrity whatsoever, to appear on her show. This is the Christmas special. We've had 2 seasons. This is Netflix, which is the biggest broadcasting platform in the world. So they've got some flex. Meghan cannot get a single celebrity to appear on her show. It's Netflix. She's well known. There's a big budget. They will pay these people. And still, no one wants to be on that show. Why? Because they've seen it. And it's a car crash. It's a train wreck. It's a hot mess. It's a dumpster fire of a TV show. So they couldn't find anyone. Oprah Winfrey, nowhere to be found. Oprah Winfrey didn't turn up. The Clooneys, busy washing their hair. Sir Elton John, the Obamas, Gwyneth Paltrow, they've all deserted the Sussexes. So that means, because Harry is stuck with Meghan for now, he's wheeled out as some kind of embarrassing performing monkey, rather than what he actually once was, which was the son of the United Kingdom. How the mighty have fallen. His job there now is to be an entertainer and, you know, glorify in the presence of my husband. I call him H. So this appearance brought back memories of the pathetic image of Harry juggling balls outside in the garden as Meghan recorded a video in their mansion. Do you remember that? It was a few years ago, 2020, 2021 maybe. And he was outside looking through the glass. Poor Harry. All I've got is, these are the only balls I'm familiar with, the ones I'm currently juggling, because I haven't got a pair of balls. Of course not. Otherwise, I would have stood up to that woman years ago. So the body language was a horror show. She's cooking with a chef, right? Because what she's got to do on With Love Meghan, she pretends to be a cook. But what she's got to do to make it work is she's got to bring in actual cooks, right? Proper chefs who know their way around the kitchen. Aren't going to set the house on fire every time they try to heat up milk, which is, of course, Meghan's speciality. So she brings in a chef and they're cooking stuff and it's all very, very tedious. And it's basically this show has already ruined my Christmas and it's early December. And Meghan is the Scrooge that stole Christmas. Meghan has cancelled Christmas, folks. Although I will say there's going to be a Mark Dolan show Christmas special. You know something, in the media, you should always under-promise and over-deliver. But let me tell you, let me say just this. There are going to be so many special activities over Christmas on the Mark Dolan show. You and I, we are going to spend Christmas together. Ensemble. À deux. Zusammen. Auf die Treppe schnell. Right. So this was a horrible show to watch. Harry gets wheeled in, And the guy's not happy. The body language is awful, right? You've got the shoulders hunched down like that. You've got the sad eyes, okay? You've got the downturned mouth. Poor Harry, world's least happy millionaire. It's all terrible. So, body language horrible, forced smiles. And the problem you've got is that Harry is an even worse actor than Meghan. He can't hide his misery. This is not a TV show. This is not a Christmas special. It is a hostage video with a look of bedevilment in Harry's eyes with a clear message, get me out of here. And you could see on that Halloween video when they're doing the pumpkins that, you know, he's hunched over and he's like pretending to have a good time. Going back to the inner child, which even Meghan said the true bit out loud recently, saying what she loves about Harry is that he's so much like a child. It's like, yeah, you have infantilized him, right? You want him as the little lost boy because that gives you control. And it's humiliating for a man who was a global figure, was one of the most famous men in the world, at one point was one of the most eligible, maybe the most eligible bachelor in the world. Once William was taken, Harry became the most eligible bachelor in the world, and the world at his feet and how the mighty have fallen. In the new programme, Harry is shown sampling a bowl prepared by Meghan, praising Doria Raglan's gumbo, which is this kind of stew. Doria, of course, Meghan's mother, who was absent for years while Meghan was a child. I don't understand how Meghan can have a favourite dish from her mother when her mother wasn't there to cook anything because she was absent without leave. She was AWOL. So what happened is Meghan responds. So Harry does this thing where he goes, yeah, it's quite nice, the gumbo, but it's not as good as your mum's. At which point Meghan goes, what? What? In her most Oscar-winning performance, right? Faux outrage. But underneath it is a real tension. Okay, they can't even pretend that they are happy. Right? No one's buying it. An unconvincing scene is wheeled out. Oh yeah, thanks. The gumbo is amazing. It's incredible. It's nearly as good as your mum's. Now, secretly, Meghan is delighted that Harry is bigging up Doria. And the reason why is because Meghan has cancelled Thomas Markle Sr., her father, right? Meghan's got rid of Thomas. Right? Thomas is out of here. He lives in a high-rise in the Philippines, overlooking a 7-lane highway, I kid you not. Right? The poor guy can barely get a wink of sleep at night, and he's living with Thomas Markle Jr. We did a special video about it, which has gone viral, thanks to lovely Donna, who is a viewer of the Mark Dolan show, who alerted me to the story. And this narrative now, right, it's like Doria, Doria, Doria. So when Harry says, you know, oh, your gumbo's great, well, that's a win for Meghan because she's a narcissist, so she has to be told it's great. He can't spit it out in disgust, which Mrs. Dolan sometimes does with my pea soup, right? He's got to pretend it's delicious. Oh, it's lovely, Meghan, you're amazing. But not as good as your mother's. Now, what's happening there, this is part of erasing Thomas Markle, right? It's deifying Doria. It's all about Doria, Doria, Doria. It's the Doria storyline. It's the Doria narrative. And this is so that Meghan can cover up and hide the fact that she has cruelly discarded her father and that really the only show in town is her mother, who actually was not around while Meghan was growing up. Thomas Markle did it. And I used to say that Thomas Markle borrowed $500,000 to pay for her education and the dance classes and the acting classes. Get your money back. Ask for a refund. Yikes! Did you know I'm not Meghan Markle anymore? I'm Meghan Sussex. It wasn't $500,000. According to Thomas Markle Jr., his son, it was $750,000. So Meghan needs a narrative, right, that makes her look like a good person. So what we got to do, we got to big up Doria, right? Doria was the great parent, even though she wasn't there. And allegedly, I don't know, relationships with other men. It's certainly the finding of Tom Bower in his book. Did she smoke the jazz cigarettes, the mind-altering, who knows, the special tobacco? The bottom line is that there's a clear agenda to make Doria look as good as possible. And Harry knows the script. Harry knows he's got to pay due respect to Meghan and due respect to Doria, because Harry and Meghan are not equals anymore. Harry is the broken little boy and Meghan the terrifying, autocratic matriarch. It's not an equal relationship. Meghan calls the shots and she controls everything. Don't forget that new Netflix deal, which is barely a deal, that's Meghan's deal. It's for Meghan's shows. There's going to be a Meghan book. Meghan, my story. The Meghan podcast, the Meghan TV show, the Meghan retail brand, the Meghan flower sprinkles, the jam, the lavender towels that go in the refrigerator, the creepy calligraphy that normally is only done by stalkers. Right, all of that, it's all on Meghan's terms. They're her kids, it's her house, it's her country, it's her home state. It's her mother. They're not equals. Harry is a number 2. He is the deputy. He's the Veep to the presidential figure that is Meghan. Now, Archie and Lily miraculously are not in this episode. However, she's endlessly referencing them, which is so inappropriate. Stop making them famous. They are young. They are little. They should have freedom and independence. But oh no, she's got to use Doria. She's got to use Harry. She's got to use Archie and Lily. All of it for clicks and all of it for her own enrichment, her own ego. So Harry comes in. Oh, hello. Hi, guys. I can smell gumbo. And then Harry looks at this salad. And there's a salad that Harry doesn't like. I mean, this is not compelling stuff, right? And Harry looks at this salad that he doesn't like. So Meghan, right, her contempt for Harry is so strong that she prepares a salad with all the things in it that she detests, including fennel. And I will agree with Harry on that. Do you like fennel? Let me know in the comments. I'm not having fennel. I don't like fennel. I don't like anything which is like licorice, aniseed, or fennel. I think they're all in the same hellish family. And I was on holiday once and I was given ouzo. Have you ever had ouzo? And that's basically like aniseed in an alcoholic drink. What's odd about ouzo, did you know this? When you mix it with water, I think it's a clear spirit. When you mix it with water, it goes grey. I don't want that in my body. Thank you very much. Anyway, so I agree with Harry. I don't like fennel. But Meghan has insulted her own husband by preparing this salad. And Harry says, oh, wow, that's like the anti-salad. You must have known that I was coming. Now, that's a clue that Meghan is mentally torturing Harry. Oh, wow, that's like the anti-salad. You must have known that I was coming. I mean, he says the true bit out loud. And you know when people are in a hostage situation, they'll write little messages on the back of like the sandwich box, won't they? Or, hide things, slip a little note under the door or put something in the pillow. Get me out of here. So he says, oh, wow, that's like the anti-salad. You must have known that I was coming. Imagine making a dish for your husband that he detests. Imagine making a dish on the episode of your cookery show in which your husband is the main draw, the star guest, and you make something that he detests. And that is the kind of mental torture that we can only imagine is the tip of the iceberg. He then ranks Doria Ragland's gumbo above Meghan's, right? Because he knows the script. He goes, oh, it's delicious. I'm not sure it's as good as your mum's, but it's certainly close, right? That's a win-win. Keep Meghan happy, elevate Doria, who is the new figure in this soap opera. Thomas can rot as far as she's concerned. And I can't lie, the poor man is living in poverty in the Philippines. He's in the Filipinas. Did you know that? He is in the Filipinas and he's in a high-rise overlooking a 7-lane highway. Which, can you imagine the pollution with those environmentally unfriendly Filipinas cars? So it's not good. Then you've got a staged shock from Meghan. What? Oh my gosh. And then she goes, but my mum will love you for that. So it's basically pretend outrage followed by well done, Harry, for remembering the script. It's all about Doria now. We're going to make Doria look as good as possible. Harry continues the performance by glaring at the salad. He said, me and the salad, we're having this sort of eye-off. They're all in one bowl. I don't know what would happen to me. I mean, this is Harry being a bit of a stand-up comedian. Harry, don't give up the day job. You don't have a job, whatever. Don't give up moping around the world and pretending to be a member of the royal family. Then the pair kiss for the cameras in a very extravagant way. And we know that Shakespearean line. Was it Shakespeare? Somebody said, he doth protesteth too much, right? No one's buying it. Elsewhere in the episode, Meghan's got advent calendars and Archie and Lily and all that. But this whole thing was a wild insult to the intelligence of viewers. And it was an act of theatre, but it was useful because although it was total fakery, it was deeply, deeply revealing. It demonstrates that their marriage now is not one of equals, that Harry's an accessory, and the moment that he ceases to be of use to Meghan, he is gone, he is out of here. And here's the other insult of the show, right? In this 56 minutes of pre-Christmas torture, Meghan Markle breezes around the Montecito kitchen of this fake house that she doesn't live in, wearing an extraordinary amount of expensive jewellery. Princess Diana's watch, her Cartier love bracelet, her diamond wedding stack, and several new additions, right? As she decorates the tree, and I feel sorry for the tree, I wouldn't be surprised if Netflix had to bring in multiple trees, like a stunt tree. You know, like a stunt man has to do like the nasty stuff, and then Daniel Craig comes in as James Bond, you know, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. I think they needed a stunt tree because I would imagine that every time Meghan went near a real Christmas tree and looked at it, the tree would just basically combust, right? It would just metamorphosize in a cloud of dust, right? Meghan looks at anything and it shatters like a glass vase, right? Like that. I think she could look at anything natural and it would just wither or burst into flames. Such is her terrifying presence. So she decorates the tree, which probably blew up. And keen-eyed viewers, spotted a pair of 2-carat Cartier Destinée earrings. Very appropriate because Meghan is focused on her destination, which is a future without Prince Harry, a global media and business empire, a massive social media footprint, and marriage to a billionaire, someone like Rupert Murdoch. I like Meghan Markle. She's got excellent ankles. The ankle is a difficult and complicated joint because the ankle has got multiple moving parts. It needs to be robust. And Meghan's, I've had my private investigator get a scan of Meghan Markle's ankles. I always get a full scan of the physiology of any future potential Mrs. Murdoch, and the ankle is structurally sound with good ligaments and a good ligament to bone ratio. Right. We don't have time for this. I've got so much more to get through. She is wearing, and her ankles, not just that, it's the calf muscles as well, which have got an excellent tendons. You know, they're held together like the bloody Ford suspension bridge. Right. So she's wearing a 2-carat Cartier Destinée earrings, sparkling under lights. Do you want to know what they cost, folks? $66,460. You heard me right, 66 grand. Later, whilst chatting with the chef Tom Colicchio, she unveiled a fresh pair of diamond stud earrings, Brilliant Earth's You're One of a Kind earrings, worth $1,500. You're one of a kind, right? That is Meghan's messaging to herself. You're one of a kind. There's only one Meghan. Thank God for that. She also wore Canadian brand Jewellery's gold hoops, costing $835, layered alongside jewellery worth far more than many families earn in a year. All of this was on display as Meghan mixed raw chicken and shrimp with her bare hands, which is unhygienic. I mean, that woman, I don't think she's clean. Would you eat a meal prepared by Meghan Markle with the dirty fingernails? She's been in the garden. God knows where she's been. I'm working with the compost, you know. Oh, it's got a strong smell, you know. I only bathe once a year. Okay. I would not. I don't trust her hygiene. I think half of it would be raw. You know, the jam, right? Famously, you got eyelashes in there, chunks of her hair. Bit of a calf muscle, if you're lucky, goes in the jam. So she's got all of this stuff on, right? And it is so expensive. Princess Diana's Cartier tank watch, Jennifer Mayer tennis bracelet, the love bracelet, her $160,000 engagement ring, a Lorraine Schwartz pinky ring valued at, wait for it, $74,500. And this is a woman, by the way, that believes in charitable work, and she's really worried about this unequal world. And yet she is dressed head to toe in, wait for it, $500,000 worth of jewellery. Thanks, but no thanks. The whole thing's a hot mess. Before we go, the Daily Mail was present as the Duke of Sussex took centre stage as the keynote guest at the Ontario Real Estate Association's annual Powerhouse Conference. If they're having a Powerhouse Conference, why have they got Harry, who has all of the power of a broken hairdryer, okay, of a rather sickly goat? That is the power that Harry has got is non-existent. He's shrinking by the second. He's so weak. He is as weak as they come, and fragile and broken. Anyway, off he goes to the Powerhouse Conference on a freezing Toronto afternoon. The crowd of around 400 high achievers were eager to hear what Harry might possibly contribute to a discussion on affordability, homelessness, and the soaring cost of living. Yikes! This is a guy that goes to Ontario and lectures 400 high achievers about the cost of living, having just appeared in a TV show in which his wife is wearing $500,000 worth of bling. Make it make sense. So how much was Harry paid for this? Well, I would say at the very least $500,000. And Harry needs that money because, as I revealed months ago, Harry's flat broke. He has not got a penny. He is broke. So he needs this cash. And by the way, part of Meghan's scorched earth policy, right, her efforts to destroy Harry are very financial, because she doesn't want him to have a massive income. She doesn't want him to have social media footprint, which is why she sends Instagram messages on his behalf, right? She decides when he's on social media. She controls all of that. If he's got money, he's free. She's got no, even the charities, right? That gives him a little status. Well, the charities are falling apart. Sentibale, chucked out. African Parks, dumpster fire. Invictus, can't stand the Sussexes anymore. They insulted them. Remembrance weekend, Meghan didn't wear a poppy. Harry partied like it was 1999 at Kris Jenner's 70th birthday party and helped himself to the free bar. Is that a Scotch old fashioned? I'll take one of those. Can't get enough. He drinks to forget. So speakers earlier in the day had painted a bleak picture. The quintessential dream of home ownership is now out of reach for a majority of people in Ontario, which, by the way, is a very common problem in the United Kingdom as well. Bad government. What are you going to do? We need a revolution, folks. Shall I take over? I'll take it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. And what I'll do is I'll get you guys in the comments to give me all the right policies, because you're always right. I love the comments. They're not part of the show. They are the show, and they're the highlights of my day. Keep them coming. Lots of love, by the way, for Jesse, who appeared in yesterday's show. He just wandered into shot. Lovely guy. I'm going to go on his podcast. I'll tell you all about it when it comes out. By the way, the other day I was unable to do the show. I was devastated. I cannot tell you how much I missed you. It was the worst. It was actually the worst day ever, not being able to put a show out for you. And there will always be shows, but we had a scheduling clash, and it was just I might have to record like a spare generic episode where I rant and rave about something or other and put it out. But anyway, I missed you hugely the other day, but that will not be a common occurrence. And don't forget, what I'm going to do now, right, because I couldn't do the other day, there will be a bonus episode. There will be a bonus episode. You're welcome. Right. So 70% of Ontarians, people in Ontario, fear that they can't afford basic essentials. Families across the province are postponing major life decisions because of financial uncertainty. The charity chair got very excited, right? She's like, oh, I'm royally excited. Ontario Premier Doug Ford, who once declared the Sussexes were welcome to live in Canada, spoke before Harry. And they're all great politicians, they're trying to actually fix something. They've gone into public life. And why have they paid Harry probably $500,000 to waffle on? This guy is so out of touch. He lives in a 16-bathroom mansion in Hollywood, California, next door. He's basically a neighbor. He lives between Gwyneth Paltrow and Oprah Winfrey. Oprah Winfrey! So it's ridiculous, right? Harry turns up at 3:30 and everyone's trying to have a good time, having a few drinks. He turns up, oh, hello, everybody. And this was apparently a 20-minute fireside chat. Nice work if you can get it, $500,000. He said, I'm not here to give advice, especially not in housing. Well, then why have we booked you? I'm not here to give advice, especially not in housing. It's a housing conference, Harry. How useless can you be when you're the keynote speaker at a housing conference and you can't talk about a house? Make it make sense. Harry also insisted that he was not filmed or photographed, unlike every other speaker at the event, which of course annoyed the Kardashians when they went to the party. You can take our picture outside for publicity, but not inside when I'm drinking mojitos. So, the guy knows no shame. It's hugely embarrassing, right? Attendees paid $500 for the privilege of listening to this boring, indulgent man. He said, I come from a unique standpoint, a unique upbringing, a life of service, and I will always be part of what I was born into. A life of service, Harry, a life of self-service. He said, I made the conscious decision to put my wife and family first, whilst also very much continuing that service. Stop talking about yourself! You've been booked to talk about housing and homelessness and the state of the world, and people in Ontario can't get a roof over their heads. And you're banging on now about your decision to leave the royal family 6 years ago. No one cares. It's done. I put my wife first. Stop it. He's so bitter. He won't let it go, will he? And then he started talking about his childhood. He said, oh, when I was younger, I wanted to put my head in the sand, my fingers in my ears, and avoid public life entirely. Look what it did to my mother. Why are you bringing Diana into this? Then I realised I had to pull my... And he starts swearing, guys. $500,000 to swear at these high achievers. Because then I realised I had to put my SHIT together. You have a platform. At first, service was experienced because I had to do it. And the change was, I want to continue to do it because I enjoy it. What does all this mean? It is just like, it's a word salad. It means nothing. He then attacks the President of the United States. Now, half of you love Donald Trump. China, I don't like Harry. He was very nasty. He made nasty comments. China. Right, so half of you love Donald. Half of you do not really hate Donald, okay? That's right. That's politics. It's always like that. No problem. Harry shouldn't be taking sides. And he says very, very interestingly, a very interesting line, right? Asked what defines good leadership, he said, well, we know what it's not, right? We have a very good demonstration of exactly what it isn't. Well, what you've done there, Harry, is insult 75, 80 million Americans, okay? You can love Donald, you can not love Donald, okay? I get it, I understand that. But a posh royal aristocrat who's never achieved anything in his life and won the womb lottery is in no position to divide America and throw shade at the leader of the free world, even if you don't like him and you're entitled not to like him. But Harry shouldn't do that. And how embarrassing for the king. But of course we know why. Because he's insulted because, of course, Donald Trump at Windsor Castle on his state visit to the United Kingdom lavished praise on William. I like William. He's a good guy. He's a good friend of mine. I'd hire him. Harry, not so much. So that's why. This is Harry's revenge. But using a platform where he's being paid $500,000 to rant and rave about his childhood, to rant and rave about his decision to put my wife first, his decision to claim that, he's a figure of service. He's a public figure that's always given back. No, you've always taken. He's a spoiled so-and-so. And then to get very political and attack the president, it's not right. He said, put your own mask on before helping others. I ran myself into the ground. Have you noticed? It's just me. He's as much of a narcissist as Meghan, isn't he? He said, I ran myself into the ground. I burned out just wanting to be there for everyone. But you're no use unless you're physically and mentally well and happy. Harry championed therapy and coaching. He said, 99% of us walk around with some form of unresolved grief, trauma, or loss. This is a showbiz corporate event. People are drinking cocktails. They're having Budweiser, which is the king of beers. We know that. It says it on every can and every bottle. They don't need this miserable lecture from the world's least happy millionaire ranting and raving about grief and loss. But that is Harry. What are you going to do? Folks, it's been so great to chat. Cannot wait to see you for tomorrow's show. I'm sitting on a major story for you. Can't wait to get it out. Let me know what you're loving about the show. Let me know what you're not loving. And also keep those comments coming. Highlight my day. What I should say to you is please like, subscribe, hit your notification bell. And can't wait to see you tomorrow. This, by the way, we are in lovely Putney. Isn't it gorgeous? This is South Putney. And it's in South London, southwest London. And it's a beautiful part of London town. Look at that River Thames. Isn't that spectacular? I can't give you much commentary on the place because I don't know Putney very well, but I'm just down here today working out, actually. And it just happens to be the neighbourhood where I've been doing some exercise. And I'm most exercised about Harry, who is the most triggering man the world has ever seen. Folks, can't wait to see you tomorrow. Stay awesome. Bye for now. Lovers leap off burning buildings. Give out life on borrowed times. Destination leaves us swinging on the edge of a house on fire. Lovers leap off burning buildings.